Hey, friendo, Steve here.
Hey, Larson.
And welcome back to Going In Raw, the only pro wrestling podcast you need to be listening to. On today's episode, we've got your lowdown for AEW Dynamite. We've got a whole bunch of what you want us to talk about from the world of pro wrestling, including Tony Khan extending Danhausen's contract for injury time, the latest surprising winner of the Lou Thez Award from the Cauliflower Ear Club, and then Cody talking about throwing maybe some more shade at AEW. Oh boy, someday somebody's going to write a book, he says. But first, let's talk about a little bit of news. It has to do with programming information, and that's WWE moving to ESPN earlier, and the final destination of these Saturday night's main events, apparently, man.
Yeah, it was a pretty eventful report from the Hollywood Reporter. In the span of like 3 paragraphs, there's like 4 newsworthy bits of information. Let's go back to Monday. So Monday we talked about a report from PW Insider about WWE's proposed, at that point, September 20th premium live event, the one, of course, that will run opposite AEW's All Out, could serve as a preview for WWE's deal with ESPN, which was expected to start early next year. Well, yesterday, Wednesday, WWE announced that not only is this September 20th premium live event now officially titled WrestlePalooza, that logo for that show is terrible too.
Oh, you don't like it? I thought it was pretty decent. It looks, it doesn't look so corporate and slick, man. You're always saying boring corporate WWE. I thought it looks kind of indie.
Nothing about the logo screams Palooza to me. Anyway.
What is Lollapalooza's thing look like lately?
I have no idea. So anyways, WrestlePalooza will air on ESPN, and it's not just a preview of what's to come in 2026. It's going to be the start of WWE's new premium live event deal with the worldwide leader in sports. So the Hollywood Reporter has some details saying, quote, ESPN is moving up its rights takeover date for WWE's premium live events from 2026 to 1 month from today, September 20th, beginning with a whole new premium live event, WrestlePalooza. Peacock, which had to give the okay for this to happen, will live stream its last premium live event this month. ESPN did not buy out Peacock's naming rights, the Hollywood Reporter has learned. Instead,
remaining rights.
Oh, remaining rights, sorry. What did I say? Renaming rights?
Naming rights.
Sorry. Got arenas and stadiums in my head for some reason. Hollywood Reporter has learned instead the arrangement for WWE's PLEs to exit Peacock was brokered between WWE and Peacock and then brought to ESPN, owned by Disney. The feeling was that through splitting its top 2 premium live events, Mania and SummerSlam, to 2 nights apiece, WWE had actually fulfilled its Peacock PLE tally early. A person with knowledge of the deal told the Hollywood Reporter. WWE and Peacock have worked out a deal to include new main roster programming to stream on the NBC Universal digital platform. In the multi-year deal, Peacock gets 4 primetime WWE Saturday Night main events per year. 2 will take place in 2025, one on November 1st and the other on December 13th. The latter will feature John Cena's retirement match. So, it seems like the deal for Saturday night's main event got extended? Maybe?
Yeah, that's what it seems like, but it's not going to be on NBC. It's going to be on Peacock.
Peacock exclusively, yeah.
Which, number one, let's just talk about it really. Okay, so number one.
There's a lot here. There's a lot here. Let's talk about this because it's the most important thing. And I'm talking about, of course, money. So when the ESPN thing was originally announced, everybody was kind of complaining about, or I saw a lot of people complaining, rightfully so, by the way. Yeah.
That, WWE is like, oh my God, you're on like a million different platforms now. ESPN, Peacock's like, what, $12, $13 a month, or depending, maybe if you have Comcast, you can get it for free a year.
And then some people I was reading, got a deal on Black Friday, get it for like $2 a month.
Okay, great. Regardless, you got to pay for it sometimes, most of the time, probably. If you're just a normie and you're not looking for deals, you probably have to pay like $12 a month. So ESPN comes along, oh my God, now I have to replace that 12 with 30. Now, if I'm not mistaken, that's an increase of $18 extra that you're then paying.
Per month, yes, that math is accurate.
Right. Instead, Peacock is going to continue keeping WWE stuff, Saturday night's main events. Plus, I guess they're also interested in maybe keeping their library.
Well, that's going to be the case till early next year.
Early next year.
I believe.
But then also ESPN's already starting. So
Yeah,
it's not an increase of 18. It's just an increase of 30.
Unless you're on one of the confirmed handful of cable and satellite providers that was reported on a few weeks back.
Which YouTube TV isn't right now.
At the time, too, neither was Xfinity.
Yeah.
So there's still a number of television providers who apparently haven't struck a deal with ESPN for their direct-to-customer streaming service to be part of cable package, like you mentioned it with Peacock. I believe with Xfinity you get HBO Max included, or you can't get HBO Max included as well. So yeah, by hitting the fast forward button and getting this ESPN deal up and running right away, again to compete with AEW, they're trying to get all sorts of buzz over WrestlePalooza. It was also, gosh, who was it? Was it PW Insider? Said the 2 matches so far. Obviously, it's going to be Cena and Brock for WrestlePalooza, but apparently they're all holding off on Cody and Drew McIntyre for that show too.
Okay.
So it's looking like that match might not happen at Clash in Paris.
I mean, you got to figure. Look, if there's any show that has a pretty decent shot at getting a lot of buzz, it's it. Say what you will about WWE. But like I watched a little video package where it's like the 2 leaders in their respective fields, ESPN, the leader in sports or whatever they're called, and then WWE, the leader in the fake fighting shit. Like, oh, they're coming together, and it's like it's a really impressive video package. You sit there and you watch AEW, it's like, oh, this is quaint, but then you watch WWE, it's like, god damn, this is like a supernova. This thing is huge, but like. And so, yeah, like the first WWE on ESPN, and then you got Brock Cena and you got Cody Drew. It's kind of a big deal. Like, if you're going to, you just last month said, we'll see when main roster is going to, if they're ever going to go up against AEW. This is as big main roster a deal if it's not, barring, an actual big 4, This is a pretty big deal they're putting up against AEW,
Yeah, I still don't know how much of a dent they're going to make in AEW's pay-per-view buys.
I honestly just think that I would be shocked if there was actually a dent in their pay-per-view buys. It's like I think people who are interested in AEW, you can have it, but it's like, well, I just watch this. I'll watch them both. I'm going to get the pay-per-view because I'm spending $50. I'd rather watch that live.
Yeah.
And then, I can go see what's going on the circus show over here with, Brock and Cena gassing out 2 minutes into a match.
And that's another thing is AEW, not only do you get good value for your dollar and that you get anywhere between 8 and 12 matches on the show, generally speaking, their pay-per-views deliver in terms
they always
of quality.
do. Yeah.
Whereas WWE, I mean, you can expect to get probably 5 decent matches, maybe one really good one on one of their pay-per-view cards. But if the main event is going to be John Cena and Brock Lesnar, at best that match is going to be all right.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot of standing around staring at each other.
Yes.
But I think that they are. I mean, dude, AEW is an alternative. It's like it's different. It's not like they're delivering the same thing as WWE. And I just think that audience likes their AEW, and maybe they'll check out WWE as well, and they can do that after the fact if they got the ESPN or whatever. Or they'll watch this shit on social media because all the good stuff shows up on YouTube anyways.
Yeah, exactly.
So, yeah, I don't know about that. I think to a degree it might be not necessarily, hey, let's make a dent in their pay-per-view. It's let's try to rob some of the buzz. Let's not give AEW their own weekend. What I thought was interesting is John Cena's last match is going to be now on a Saturday night's main event on the 13th, apparently, not opposite AEW, on Peacock, which is interesting because I wonder if because they're going to be on Peacock, and I don't know, maybe it'll be different because of international rights. I don't know. But would that help them avoid a situation, like presentation-wise, is this going to be any different than if it ran on network? Because of the ad situation and then the Goldberg speech being cut off after whatever he got 2 minutes.
Yeah.
Are they going to be able to go long on a Saturday night's main event now? That sort of, I guess, maybe remains up in the air. But
I would think so because I don't know I don't have the answer for that. For me, I'm curious about what these negotiations looks like between WWE and Peacock, where WWE comes in, chest out. well, we fulfilled all our obligations because we had all these 2-night pay-per-views.
Buddy, you're just doing Vince McMahon right now. He's not with the company anymore.
Well, Triple H can still do this.
I like that Triple H comes in negotiations. He's got his cup of ice. I'll never forget that on Unreal. Now that's just all I think of Triple H is.
Now the number one thing about with Triple H now is that he's had one pair of swim trunks for 20 years.
You know how it is. Look, we're not that far behind Triple H in age. We're like about a decade behind him. We're not that far behind. You know how it gets? Like, dude, that shirt right there, that's like the newest shirt you have.
It's one of them.
Like, how long did you wear that Mass Effect shirt?
I still have it too. I got it in 2011 at Comic-Con.
Yeah, man.
It's actually still in really good shape. That's a really well-made shirt. Anyway,
making sure I'm not going to sling shit at a guy who does the exact same. That's just being old, you know. It's like,
I'm not throwing shade. I just think it's funny
though. It's very relatable, isn't it?
It's funny, yeah. So, anyways, WWE coming in and being like, well, we fulfilled all our dates, and Peacock's like, well, I mean, this contract here, I don't know, it's probably nebulous. And so then
it's like $1 billion contract.
No, in terms of the situation where maybe the contract is for a duration, you know, like for X number of years or for a year. And WWE would be like, well, since we doubled up on these shows, they're individual shows, therefore that fills up what normally would have been for the duration. So peace, we're out. And Peacock's like, well, how about this? Let's extend it. WWE's like, fine, that seems fair. We want Cena's last match, too. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And WWE's like, oh, gosh, we went out of this so bad. We want to go on ESPN right away. Oh, fine, you could have Cena's last match. Because the reason they were, you know, that was going around about not be able to move Cena's last match opposite World's End was because there's a football thing.
Yeah.
Well, I get that then if it was a situation where they wouldn't do Saturday night's main event on that day, that would preclude them from doing it on NBC. Now on Peacock, is that a different thing? Or why not just do a premium live event that's independent of football schedule? You know, if they were really ardent in the idea of doing Cena's last match on, was the 27th, I think it is, of December.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess to a degree, I think you're probably right. I mean, I don't know how much arrogance WWE walks into a room with. I'm sure probably a lot. It wouldn't shock me if they did.
All
Here's
the arrogance.
Yeah, I know, but come on, man. If you're the head guy at Peacock, you're feeling pretty good. You got the Night Court revival. That does well. You know, you just licensed out Quantum Leap to Netflix. That's probably, you know, making you some money. I think you're in a good position. You got NFL.
Well, hold on. That depends if NBC actually owns the IP for Quantum Leap, or if it's a production company who then, you know, shoots it, and then NBC purchases the licensing rights to air it.
No idea. In any event, you know, here's my thing. All these fucking snake executives, Larson, like Nick Khan and you know, Ari, whoever, Emmanuel, they all probably went to these Ivy League schools together, bunch of snakes, Skull and Bone Society and whatnot. So I don't think anybody's walking in any room like that. Hold on, let me finish.
Well, Triple H would, because he's not included in that club.
Oh, no, he's not. This dude, he's not. No, he's not. He didn't go Ivy League, man. This guy went to the power plant. Yeah. So you got, you know, all these corporate snakes, and they slither into a room and they're like, hey, who here wants to make even more money? Peacock, you want to make more money? Yeah, we want to make more money. Hey, ESPN, you want to make more money? Yeah.
They all get their individual wet towels,
wringing every cent they can out of us.
And they're all talking about, well, all right, how can we wring even more money out of our customers?
I think that's probably more in line with what's going on. And yeah, I'm sure you're probably right about the Cena thing. That was probably, hey, let's throw Peacock a bone because we're splitting town. But you would just think that the deal, the nebulous $1 billion contract they had, probably was like, hey, we need to fulfill certain dates. And maybe along the way, they're like, okay, well, we have these boxes of dates that we need to fill. And then when SummerSlam happens, boom, boom. And everybody can see the calendar with, okay, we got 2 of these dates filled. I would think along the way, Peacock, WWE rolling in here. Remember all those 2-date shows? Here they are.
Well, I mean, like, it was a situation where it was clear as day.
Yeah.
It's by shows or by dates. Then it wouldn't be this explanation in this article. It would simply be.
You might be right. Isn't that crazy though? Isn't that because here's the thing. I laugh at you, but at the same time, you might be right. This deal, it's $1 billion deal. This should be all just laid out in crystal clear detail, and seemingly it's not, because I read it the same way you did. They're just sitting there like, yeah, now WWE is claiming that
that's the thing. They walk in with chest puffed out saying, this is how it is.
No, they slither in and they say, hey, listen, Peacock, here's the deal. So, and just wait, hear me out before you react. But we've sort of filled out all these dates. And they're like, okay, just wait, though. But we want to do more business with you. And the snakes get all happy. So, I don't know, man. I don't know.
It's a combination there. I feel like to walk in with the idea is like, well, yeah, sure, the contract says that we're signed through the end of the year, or hell, to next WrestleMania, because that's when the ESPN deal was supposed to kick off.
Let me ask you this. Do you think that this communication from WWE to Peacock, where they say, because you say it's big-chested walk into a room, I think the snakes sit down to some sort of high-price meal like an American Psycho, right? And
they're all
Nick
comparing
Khan,
business cards, and they're just kind of casually talking about these new deals. Yeah.
Yeah. Nick Khan's like, hey, listen, we gave you all these dates. It's a great relationship, money building, right? Let's work together more, but we're also trying to get on ESPN, which will help you guys because, everybody cross-pollinating their bullshit will just help all of us make more money. I feel like it's probably, I don't know if anybody's walking to in a room with their chest puffed out. That's my point. I don't know.
I understand your point.
It's funny. I love that we're talking about like how this is approached, because it does seem really like all sprung on them,
Yeah, that's why I feel like it's coming from WWE, especially, is a situation where they're just kind of bulldoze through.
It feels that way, but I just sort of, in reality, I don't know. It's such a world that's foreign to us.
It totally is. And maybe in my mind, it's still, well, that's how Vince did things for a number of years. So in my mind, that's assuming that's how WWE still does things for a number of years. But there's obviously new people doing all this stuff.
So I'll just offer this. And again, it's all silliness. But the strength of Vince was his ability to craft relationships across media. That's why they put up with so much of his bullshit. And so, I mean, that's why, you see Ari Emanuel next to him in the big Endeavor deal. Yeah. And, he's like, nah, man, I wouldn't let this guy, out of my sights. Maybe knowing full well there's some shenanigans at play. I don't know. But, he built these relationships and made people a lot of money. And so I know that Vince did that in a lot of situations, walked in like the Mr. McMahon character. But I think a lot of this is just, I mean, dude, honestly, whenever anybody asks me advice in terms of like, career stuff, it's build relationships.
Oh,
it's
absolutely,
network.
yeah.
You can have zero talent, and if you know how to like build relationships and network, you can go really far.
Oh, 1,000%. Yeah.
Super far. Yeah, and I don't think Vince's relationships were all built on him bulldozing people.
No, obviously not. He's not.
His wrestlers, sure, but his broadcast partners,
probably not. Just reading this, and in my mind, that's just how I pictured it. Triple H in swim trunks, no shirt on, chest out, going into the boardroom.
Ideally, still wet somehow.
Yeah, still like fresh off the plane from they were vacationing like in the Greek Isles or something like that.
Yeah,
they got on the private jet and flew straight to this business meeting.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I like it. I think that's a great scenario. We should, maybe we can run that through some sort of AI generator.
There we go.
Like come up with that scenario. That'd be great. Yeah,
that'd be great. Triple H swim trunks, no shirt. Chest out, busting into a boardroom.
Chest out, busting into a place.
Contract in hand, pointing, dates fulfilled,
Yeah, man. Dude, if I look like that when I'm 56, you'll probably know that I'm on some sort of drugs. But,
Hey, man, don't sell yourself short. You're taking care of yourself. You're going to the gym. We're playing basketball 2-3 times a week.
Oh, my legs are so sore from that leg day.
It's a good sore,
basketball.
though. That's good.
It's funny, too, because yesterday I was trying to, like, back you down. I was like, oh, this is not going to work.
I know the first time I heard you. I heard you.
I was like, this ain't going to work, man.
My legs were sore. You didn't give up. So.
My legs were sore. Anyways, before we continue on, was there anything else in this that we needed to talk about?
No, I think we got it all.
WrestlePalooza. We're on opposite ends of the WrestlePalooza logo.
It doesn't scream Palooza to me. It looks like an NXT takeover design.
Type in, it does actually. Type in the Lollapalooza. Go to the Lollapalooza website. Look at their logo. I want to see. It's kind of 60s I'm trying to put my my finger on exactly what it is, but it's kind of like psychedelic.
Oh yeah. It's been kind of like that for a while. Yeah.
Oh, has that been what it's been? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Before we continue on really quick with what you guys want us to talk about, and then our AEW review, bring this up really quick because this is fresh at friendoshop.com. You can use promo code Friendo2024, and it's the New Jersey, not the state. It's our new variant of a basketball jersey, and it's a Friendo Club Wolfpack edition. There it is in black, white, red. It's also kind of like our alma mater. It's the CSUN edition right here. You got the Friendo Club logo. And then on the trim right here, I got it's like the Friendo Club ball logo right here, but I've got it like kind of as a pattern on the trim right here.
Neat.
And I think it helps it pop a little bit. I did pretty decent at basketball yesterday, Larson. I think largely because I was wearing this jersey right here.
Is that the one you wore yesterday?
It is, yeah. This
Did you
one,
wash it?
No, I got two of them because I was comparing the sizes. The sizes are a little bit different on these latest batch of jerseys. If you used to get an XL, get a large.
Oh, they run large.
They run a little bit large now, and I actually emailed them and be like, hey, am I tripping right now? But I actually got out and measured things. So if you usually get an extra large, get a large. If you usually get a large, get a medium. Because they do run a little bit on the larger side these days, starting with like this one here.
Okay, that's good to know.
So if you're a Friendo Club jersey aficionado, go down a size.
Go down a size.
Go down a size. Yeah. But anyways, it's available right now at friendoshop.com. All right, Larson, it's time for our favorite segment of the week.
What do you want to talk about?
What do you want to talk about?
First one here from your channel, 4835.
Yeah.
I didn't know this was a thing until I saw this here.
Neither did I.
The Hollywood Reporter's power ranking of the top 10 wrestlers turned actors. So, Steve, you haven't seen the list.
I have not seen the list. I have, there's some obvious people on the list that, like, I went to the article, but I did not scroll at all. I just saw a couple different, faces on there that naturally would be on there. But they've actually ranked. I'm hoping that the criteria is quality of acting.
Looking at the list, kind of.
Shit. Okay.
So you're going to guess the 10 wrestlers turned actors who are on this list.
Okay.
So it seems to be an amalgam in terms of the criteria. I think quality of performance is obviously in play.
Okay.
I think box office.
That makes the number one spot really, really
is
interesting.
In play too.
I know who the top three are going to be.
It's the order, though. I think that's going to maybe give you some pause, make you think a little bit.
Okay.
So I want to see if you can get the top 3 in order.
Okay.
And then after that, if you could fill in the top 10.
All right. Number one's got to be Batista.
You got that right. Dave is number 1. He is, I think, from a purely acting standpoint, the absolute best wrestler turned actor. He is a great, great character actor.
I do not believe this can be debated at all. That conversation is over. It's done. I think Cena has an opportunity to rival him, perhaps, with some interesting choices over the next 10 to 15 years.
Here's the thing about Cena, though. I always feel like Cena's playing variations of John Cena, whereas I feel like Dave gets a little more lost in his roles.
I've seen flashes of more from Cena where I think he can eventually get lost in his roles. But you're 1,000% right. He is always kind of just playing Cena. I'm looking forward to Peacemaker. I'm going to watch Superman and Peacemaker this weekend. I haven't seen the Superman yet. All right. Number 2, it's going to come down to one of those dudes, Rock or Cena. And if you said, because here's the thing, Rock has actually had, I think, a couple more interesting roles than Cena at this point. Plus, he's huge box office. I'll say Rock's number 2.
You got that right. Dwayne Johnson, number 2.
All right. I mean, that has to leave Cena at number 3, right?
John Cena's number 3. Now let's see if you can get number 4. You have to go back a little bit. Not too far, but a little bit to get number 4.
I'm going to say, boy, this is a tough one because this dude only had one role. This guy was on a bunch of stuff, and he was actually pretty good, but I can't really speak for box office. I'm assuming nobody from The Wrestler is in this. And when I say The Wrestler, I mean the old wrestler movie with who was
Vern?
Gagne was in there.
And Billy Robinson, you're correct. There is no Vern, no Billy Robinson.
All right. I've got 3 names here. I'll go with Piper next.
You got it. Piper at 4.
All right, Piper at 4. All right.
At number 5, I was not expecting this name. Now, this particular wrestler turned actor has been in a lot of stuff, but none of it's really been to the same high profile as the 4 names mentioned previously.
Okay, I'm going to ask if this name's on here because he's actually, as an actor, fairly prolific, did not have much of a wrestling career. Nathan Jones.
Not on the list.
Wow. Snubbed, I tell you.
Everybody in this list gained significant prominence as a wrestler.
Okay. Oh. Okay, this one was kind of spoiled for me, and I will admit this straight up. I would not have thought he was in here, but I did see his picture because he was on, I think, Vikings. Adam Copeland.
Number 5 is Cope, yep.
He's number 5. Can you read me the description for why they put him at number 5?
Says Copeland's resume includes some serious story arcs on Vikings. He appeared on 25 episodes, 42 episodes of Haven.
Haven, that's right.
Last year, Copeland played Ares in a trio of Percy Jackson in the Olympian movies, I guess. So that's it. That's kind of what they're saying.
All right. All
right, 6. I was not expecting to see number 6 on this list.
Wow. Okay. You weren't expecting to see him on the list.
Because especially his early acting roles were more like expanded cameos, kind of. Or in one case, under a costume completely. Didn't know it was him. It was a couple later movies in his acting career, I think, earned him a place on this list.
Oh, Kevin Nash.
Yep.
Yeah, okay. Super Shredder. And, of course, he got really good notices for the Magic Mike stuff.
Yeah, that's probably what got him that spot that high on that list, yeah.
All right. Andre the Giant's on the list for his
number 10.
one. Yeah, okay, because he only had the one movie, I think. But everybody loved him in that movie.
Oh, Princess Bride. It's great.
Yeah.
Although you don't like that movie.
I'd probably revisit it. I got to show Bama that movie. She'd probably be really tickled by it. Have your kids seen that movie?
Mm-mm.
No, I got to show Bama that movie. All right. Huckster's in it, right? And Hulk Hogan on this list?
Number 7.
I mean, he did so much.
Based on, apart from Rocky 3.
Yeah, right.
Which I think is probably the best movie he had in terms of critical reception.
He's good as Thunderlips.
Yeah, everything. Yeah. I mean, he might have done more acting than any other wrestler just in terms of quantity. Several movies.
How many episodes of Thunder in Paradise were on?
I think quite a bit.
Yeah. All right. All right. So Hogan. Okay, I got all these names. So right now, 1, 2, 3.
You need 2 more.
Damn. 2. Okay, 2 more. Let me see here. Boy, Nash was you gave me good hints on the Nash one.
So 8 and 9.
Okay, man, are there any women on the list? No. Okay, all dudes. Okay.
So one of them that you haven't named is in one of the best action movies ever made. And while he doesn't wrestle, he still does show up from time to time, especially on certain days of the week.
Wow, what a great... Okay, hold on a second.
Or I should say a certain day of the week. If he shows back up on wrestling television, it's always on a very certain day.
Oh, he was so good and everything. Yeah, Jesse Ventura. What am I thinking? Of course, Ventura.
Yep.
Yeah, That's a good one. That is a good one. What where did he land on the list?
Only at number 9.
All right, he was good in. I mean, off the top of my head, obviously he was in the Schwarzenegger movie. He was Running Man and obviously Predator. Yeah. He was in that. What was it? It was him and Piper in that one TV pilot that we did the thing with Rob
the cop one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Tag team or something like that.
I think it was Tag Team, something like that. I mean, okay. Let me ask you this. The last remaining name on this list.
Number 8, yes.
Is his resume chock full of WWE studio movies?
Well, if so, that's not what he's really known for.
Oh, really? Okay. Because I was thinking The Miz because of the Marine movies.
No, it's not Miz.
It's not Miz.
Not Miz. It's not Randy Orton.
It's not Triple H for the Chaperone.
No.
He was also in a Blade movie.
Yes, he was.
Another hint. Give me another hint.
Well,
is he a former WWE champion?
Yes.
Ooh. Was he a champion in the 2010s?
Not a world champion.
Oh. Got him.
Oh, okay, how about this? Here's a hint. This will probably give it to you.
Okay.
So the company he works for now had discussions about reviving a character he played in one of his movies.
Oh God, that sounds so familiar. Oh, Paul White.
Well,
you Captain Insano. What am I
That's
thinking?
why I said, like, the first two questions you asked, I was like, well.
Oh, that's okay. Well, I'm not that smart, man. Okay, yeah, you can't be too clever with me.
So in the write-up here, they mentioned Captain Insano. He was in Jingle All the Way. He had his own Netflix show, too.
He did. That's right. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's right. It was like a sitcom, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Yeah. I think, Piper was what, number 5?
4.
He was number 4 and Edge was 5.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'd give that list a 10 out of 10. I think they did a good job.
It's pretty solid.
Yeah.
It's pretty solid.
Who is the name of the writer on that list or on the article?
Let's see. Yeah. Tony Maglio?
All right. Well, Tony Maglio, well done. I think you nailed it. You did good.
The honorable mentions were Stacy Keibler, Randall Keith Orton, CM Punk, Miz, MJF, Savage, Mercedes Moné, Stone Cold.
Yeah.
Goldberg, DDP, Triple H, Becky Lynch, and Chris Jericho.
Yeah, Goldberg had like some stuff. I feel like Punk has a future. Now, he probably would rather be doing creative for wrestling, but, that could change with one fit backstage. But I liked that Punk in his time off. He was trying to do some like B movie, B level kind of horror movies. I like that. I thought that was really cool. That was a smart move on his part. All right, next up. Shotgun Sean says Tony Khan extending Danhausen's contract for injury time, despite seemingly have no desire to actually use him.
Yeah, it's a common practice in the world of pro wrestling, and it's a pretty shitty one. Especially if AEW, Tony Khan has no designs on using Danhausen on anything, television-wise, creatively. If that's the case, just let his contract expire.
May I offer this up? I kind of wish that, and maybe it is this way, but built into these contracts, there was a more mechanical process by which this is dictated. Meaning, when you sign the contract, you understand injury time is specially dictated by like AEW's medical staff or whatever, and it is automatically added so that factually that when you're down with injury, you are notified that these dates are staying. And so your new contract date ends on a specific date. The way this, and I don't know how it works, but the way this is always worded is Tony Khan comes off as, in the case of WWE, super spiteful. So they're just going to simply rob this person of trying to continue to establish their career and their brand. They're just going to sit them at home.
Yeah.
Now, in the case, honestly, dude, in the case of the Penta Phoenix stuff, it's like, that's kind of a little bit of fuck around, find out. Like, hey, we're going to talk to people about going to the other place. If I'm Tony Khan, I kind of feel I can sleep decent at night. In this case, I don't know what's going on behind the scenes, but it is always framed like Tony Khan is being an asshole by doing this. And it's like, from the business standpoint, I understand why that exists in contracts. But there is sort of that nebulous thing of, well, I'm not going to use them, so clearly I'm just keeping them from going somewhere else.
Yeah.
And it just seems, even though I think it makes sense from a business standpoint, it's so fucking petty.
It is.
Or it comes off as petty, even though
It does.
contractually, I understand why they have that in there. It seems like there could be a more formal mechanical, process with which this can take place, as opposed to just, let's take a look at the calendar. All right, I'm going to put a big red X here because you missed a bunch of injury time.
Yeah, because it always comes off as an option.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
From
yeah.
AEW's part, or WWE's part, whatever company's part, to exercise if someone misses time with injury, they want to retain their services to make up for those dates, as opposed to, as you said, a mechanism that's automatic, that's outside of the whims of the owner of said company.
Yeah, right.
Legal Forearm Shots here says Natty becoming the first woman to win the Lou Thez Award. That is awesome.
Yeah, that's great. So this is like a Cauliflower Alley thing.
Yeah.
I think I call it Cauliflower Ear Alley thing. I think it's
Cauliflower
Alley.
Club. Cauliflower Alley Club.
Is that what it is? Yeah, okay.
Cauliflower Alley Club, yeah.
Yeah, and it's like a lifetime achievement deal, and she's the first woman to receive this award. So I think that's wonderful. That's awesome, and
Super awesome.
Seemingly pretty well deserved.
Yep.
I'm not gonna. Why did I say seemingly? I'm just gonna say well deserved.
Well deserved. Yeah.
Yeah.
Diehard Homer says Cody's saying this during his podcast. I would love to write a book, but an entire huge chapter is locked behind a wall. He's talking about the AEW chapter.
He's talking about the AEW chapter, and there seems to be, and this is buried deep in like an hour past the beginning of the podcast. Becky Lynch wrote a book. She said, I'd love for you to write a book. I think it'd be fascinating. And he says, well, right now I can't because, one chapter is hidden behind a huge wall. But there is this sort of like subtext within some of his other, a little bit more of the quote that, he feels maybe underappreciated, or he's not going to get the proper credit he deserves for his role building AEW, because he says something like, I'm not going to write the book, but I hope somebody does in like 15 years. And I hope I'm included in it, is something. I think that's kind of what he said.
Something like that.
And yeah, these books are never, they're always from a point of view. You can never get like the real factual record because there are a lot of perspectives.
Yep.
But I don't know. The Young Bucks in their book gave him plenty of credit for, the first All-In show obviously was Cody's deal. So yeah, when asked a question about it, I expect the guy to give an answer. Clearly he doesn't feel comfortable, or legally maybe he even can't discuss what happened.
Yeah, we don't know
why he. I saw all sorts of in my kind of opinion, reckless speculation out there on various podcasts saying, "Oh, it's because of this, it's because of that," and that's all it is at this point until more people speak on the record about it.
Marvell here says Ace Austin AEW debut with no fanfare because it was on Collision.
It was on Collision. It wasn't on Ring of Honor.
No, I believe it was on Collision.
Okay, all right. Look, I love Ace Austin. I think he's great. I think maybe if it was like him, obviously Chris Bay, tragic, accident in ring precludes this from happening. I feel like if him and Bay were able to show up in AEW as a tag team, maybe they would have been given a little bit more fanfare. But, Ace Austin is a tremendous talent, and that talent long term is either going to get him places in AEW or not, regardless of what debut he has. Mm-hmm. I know a good debut helps people, and, we can do vignettes and stuff like that. But maybe in this case, it's sort of a wait and see thing. I don't know. I can't really speak on that.
Yeah. Was this Bry guy? Says Spike Dudley said he would have won the ECW championship for Mike Awesome if he hadn't blown out his knee.
Yeah.
That would have been interesting.
I could see Paul Heyman doing that.
Yeah. It worked well, like with Mikey Whipwreck.
Mikey Whipwreck won it. Yeah. So yeah, Spike Dudley was like, I don't know, if you take everybody individually, might have been the most over Dudley boy.
Dude, you see those compilations, those crazy bumps he took during his career. Fuck.
I thought that was such a, and in a very 90s way, such a wonderful. It was such a the Dudley boys, because they were a family, and to have so many interesting aspects to that family, because he was like the runt of the litter, and I don't know if that's politically correct or whatever anymore, but like he was the runt of the pack. That's how he was built, and so there was something off about the guy in character. And it just added so much character to that group, So yeah, I thought that the Dudley Boys probably a top 5 act that was over with the fans in ECW, and Spike Dudley was such an awesome creative part of that. And yeah, the bumps he took were absolutely just nightmarish, But no, and then he claims, because I saw another clip from that Chris Van Vliet interview, that he doesn't deserve to be in the Hall of Fame. Buddy, you're wrong about that. I think the Dudley Boys in total should be inducted in the Hall of Fame, because they were so wildly popular, so wildly successful as an entire group in ECW, and obviously as a tag team. I think they probably are as a tag team, aren't they?
Yeah, they are.
They are as a tag team. But the entire group should have been, as well as the ECW group, because they're great.
Yeah.
What were you going to say? Oh, yeah, I want Bubba Ray to be a 2-time.
No, I was just thinking about Joel Gertner.
Yeah, you know what, man? Those dudes were so popular, and I know that just a bunch of wild, out-of-pocket shit came out of their mouths. Yep. Everybody in that group included.
Yep.
But god damn, that was some fun shit, man. That was some fun shit. Oh,
all right.
Man.
You want to talk about Dynamite?
Yeah, it was the go home to the upcoming Forbidden Door this weekend. And I think the biggest thing coming out of it is, boy, oh boy, I think I might watch I feel like the cage match is probably, I know you said the Hangman's probably gonna main event.
Well, it's a title, but you never know. It's entirely possible the cage match main events.
It's lights out. Don't usually the lights out stuff, because it's like unsanctioned. It happens like
oh yeah, there's a bunch of destruction, and just in terms of the logistics of running the show, they got to have the crazy match end it, because they could tear apart the ring or something.
It actually makes sense from a story standpoint, because it's an unsanctioned match, so technically it happens after the show's over.
Yeah, so I mean, I guess it's entirely possible. Hangman versus MJF happens. All right, show's over, everybody.
Yeah.
Added value, unsanctioned match.
Right, yeah. It's like an encore situation. Some people start up to go, and it's like, no, you got to stick around the encore. They're going to do it. Yeah. You could see them back there. Look, they're just backstage.
Yeah, I know.
Waiting.
The illusion of an encore, like, I know what's going to happen. I can maybe count on one hand the number of times I went to a concert, and after the last song, it was the last song.
Do you remember who that would have been?
No, I don't remember offhand, but maybe it happened once. We all know they play their main set. You look at any band's set list, they have the main songs. There's a line usually, and then the encore stuff. This isn't a spontaneous thing.
Some assholes do a second encore, which is stupid as hell. They do like one huge hit, afterwards.
Yeah.
Yeah, I on one hand, if I'm in a band, I'm probably going to respect tradition, because at this point, that's kind of all it is. It's just like respecting the tradition of live music,
I guess.
But it is incredibly silly and an incredible waste of time.
So I'll say this. So I just went with my wife to see Hosier.
Yeah, right.
And what he did, rather than the full-blown encore, is, so they had the main stage, does most of the show there, and then he kind of says thank you. And then almost immediately, he individually walks around the crowd to a smaller stage towards the back of the venue, does a couple songs, goes back to the main stage for, I think, one or two more, and then that's it.
Oh, that's cool.
So it's like, all right, thank you. And it's like 45 seconds later, he's back out there performing, as opposed to you got to stand there and clap and shout for 5 minutes, even though you know for sure this is going to happen.
This is an easily Googleable thing. But do you think the origins of the encore had more to do with some technical thing, as opposed to it being like, let's leave and then come back? Do you think it probably...
In my mind, it's like a vaudeville thing. Either you get tomatoes thrown at you.
Yeah, that could
and you
be.
you get kicked off the stage, or you have a good set or something, and then they start clapping. They want more. Oh, I got to do more?
Yeah, right. Yeah.
In my mind, that's like the origins of it.
Yeah. It's probably something like semi-violence related.
Could
where
be.
If the crowd doesn't get what they want, they're gonna fucking kill you.
It'd be a
some
riot
shit
or
like
something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. Or like there was some show where the crowd got so violent because they wanted more that he was forced to come back.
The person was pushed out on stage. Do more.
Yeah, right, yeah.
That was all my material.
Do it again, idiot.
Anyway, so Will Ospreay needs surgery. This isn't surprising considering he said he's got a major neck injury. At the time, it was kind of vague about his timetable post Forbidden Door. On Dynamite last night, he made it crystal clear.
Yeah.
In fact, he goes, I doubt this is actually true, but in terms of maybe enhancing the drama of the match, says I wasn't cleared for Forbidden Door.
Yeah.
So, he had to sign some paperwork. Now it's unsanctioned. AEW is not responsible for what happens.
Mm-hmm.
And he says, before they take the scalpel to me, I'm going to get my pound of flesh for Mox. He says, I'm doing this for revenge.
Mm-hmm.
First and foremost, I hope Will Ospreay gets out of this match without damaging his neck more. I would hope he's been looked over by doctors. They've done enough rehab, and they say to him, all right, as long as you don't do these 3 things, you should be fine to get through a match. Now, if it's a situation like with, was it Edge? Mm-hmm. There was somebody else who had a neck injury, and they pretty much said if you get hit wrong, you could be paralyzed,
Yeah.
And don't want that to be the situation at all. The hope is whatever he's got going on there, damage to a couple of discs, it's a situation where it's stabilized enough that it won't necessarily get worse, but at least for one match, but it needs to be addressed for his long-term health and to continue on his career.
It's like, I can probably still drive my car for a couple more miles, but the dude said I need new brake pads, so I got to get that. I hope that's the situation where it's like, okay, but dude, I can think of at least 4 people who shouldn't be in this match: Kenny, Kota Ibushi, Tanahashi, and Ospreay. And then the dude's gonna Darby Allin's gonna do something really stupid in this match too.
Yeah, he's gonna jump off the top of the cage in some capacity.
This match is kind of scary, to be honest with you, because there's the real possibility that people are gonna get themselves fucked up.
Well, here's the thing too, is you're gonna have 10 people in a standard wrestling ring. This isn't blood and guts. This isn't 2 rings jammed together with the cage over the whole thing. And I'm sure the cage aspect of it's going to be more used as a tool as opposed as a mean to keep the wrestlers inside. Because if they try to have a match with 10 people in the ring and they're all in the ring at the same time, it's going to be a fucking mess.
Yeah, production's going to it's going to be a nightmare for production.
Well, just in terms of the real estate they have to work with. There won't be much. So this match has to go all over the place.
Yeah, it's going to be
the
more
cage
like
is there as a
Stampede.
weapon as opposed to a means to keep everybody inside and interference outside.
It's going to be like an Anarchy in the Arena, Stadium Stampede type thing.
Yeah, with just the cage there to throw people into or to jump off of.
I mean, ideally, when I think of Lights Out, I generally think of an amplification of violence, not necessarily an amplification of crazy-ass moves. I'm thinking like a bunch of foreign objects, people bleeding all over the place. That to me is like, okay, cool, because that's way safer than, hey, bruv, I'm about to do surgery. I'm going to be gone for a year. Let me go up to the top of the cage and jump off of it. I don't need to see that. I don't need to see any of that stuff. A steel cage also with 10 dudes in it, less bumps. And, every bump you take is probably not good for your neck as well. So I'm hoping that, cooler heads sat down and said, okay, what can we do to make this superficially violent but not damaging to anybody? Because like I said, there's 4 people who probably shouldn't even be in this match.
Yeah.
And
they're all on one team.
And they're all on one team.
Yeah.
And but I don't know. I don't know that they're not going to, try to just wow that crowd and go all out.
It's Will Ospreay. That's what he does.
I know. I know.
So yeah, hopefully safety is a primary concern through all that. Also on Dynamite, I guess the huge development is that MJF, under threat of lighting Mark Briscoe on fire, got Hangman Adam Page to agree to 3 requests for their title match at Forbidden Door. 1, win by DQ. 2, title can change hands on a DQ. Title can change hands on a countout. And that Hangman will grant MJF the match without MJF having to execute his contract.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So Hangman agreed to those 3 terms. So if MJF loses, he can still execute the contract right there. That's the thing. It's even if Hangman gets through the match, MJF still has what Hangman didn't want him to have, which was an insurance policy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, right. Yeah.
That he could execute after the match to get another match and maybe win there. Mm-hmm. Now that Mark Briscoe is obviously still involved, you got to think, in however this ultimately plays out, Mark Briscoe's probably going to play a role in that.
Yeah. I mean, the odds are really stacked against Hangman because you also have the potential of the Hurt Syndicate out there, maybe. I do think that the Mark Briscoe thing is going to be the device they use, and then they'll just push on the contract. I don't think it's a terrible idea for them to do the title change at like Full Gear. There's history with the pay-per-view there. Yeah. I think that's enough time. And I like the idea of Hangman chasing the title. You and I talked about that last week when we talked about it on predictions for Forbidden Door, which are going up on Friendo Club later on today. Mm-hmm. I feel like MJF is going to, I like the stuff where, he can change hands on a DQ. So if Hangman gets himself DQ'd, then he loses the title. MJF will try to get the count-out win. It's just more stuff for Hangman to overcome. Mm-hmm. Here's the thing. The title is going to change hands in the main event of a pay-per-view. Find it difficult to believe that the steel cage match isn't going to main event the pay-per-view.
Yeah.
This is the first one after Hangman won the damn thing. I don't think it's going to happen that soon. Could he cash in the contract and win the title after this match? Sure, he could, but I feel like MJF thinks he's got all his ducks in a row now. He's got the upper hand. He ostensibly stood tall on the go home. I feel like that means he's going to get thwarted, become even hungrier, and, he'll have to cash in a different way at a different time. Mm-hmm. He'll come out of this with the contract and still trying to find ways to do what he did here, save the contract, get another match, and then try to do the same thing. I don't think it happens at Forbidden Door, though.
Probably not. Let's just jump right into it. So the show opened with Bryan Danielson making his entrance. I'm like, oh, is he going to cut a promo? No, he just joined commentary.
He's on commentary.
Which is great because he's really good.
Because they're in Glasgow last night, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
So the opening segment is supposed to be face-to-face between Ospreay and Mox. So Ospreay comes to the ring first. And he kind of gives us an update on his prognosis, which is not good. Yeah. Says he wasn't cleared for Forbidden Door. He says, I was told I can't wrestle in my hometown, so I took matters into my own hands. Now it's a lights-out, unsanctioned match. Everything that happened Sunday won't be AEW's fault. Everybody's thinking, we don't want you to die. He says, I'm aware and I'm comfortable with the risk because this place means so much to me. I'm here to prove that this generation is here to look after AEW, and that there's even a small chance I can't be Will Ospreay after Sunday. You better believe I'm going to leave it all in the ring on Sunday. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. He says, I'm entering that cage and I'm going to tear the Death Riders apart. I'm looking for revenge. I'm doing this for revenge. Before they take a scalpel to me, I'm going to get my pound of flesh for Mox. So Death Riders music hits. Mox and Reno show up on the Tron. They make their entrance into the arena. They get into the ring. Mox steps up to Will, starts talking to him while Claudio and Wheeler get up on the apron. So Will's like, why do you need backup if you're the ace of AEW? He says, this Sunday, I'm coming for you, and if you want to get rid of me, then you got to do it yourself. So Mox laughs. He waits for Claudio and Yuta to get in the ring. Jet speed run to make the save. Then Tanahashi's music hits. So he's power walking to the ring. Bell rings because there's a 6-man tag match, which is Tanahashi and Jet Speed versus the Death Riders. So the finish sees Tanahashi looking for a high fly flow on Yuta. Then you have Bullet Club War Dogs. Mm-hmm. So Gabriel Kidd,
was Drilla Maloney out there?
Yeah, Drilla Maloney, and then another dude I did not recognize.
Yeah, I didn't either.
So they come out to ringside. Kidd crotches Tanahashi over the top turnbuckle. Ospreay, who earlier in the match, Maria Shafir was kicked out of ringside, and Ospreay picked her up and carried her backstage. Now walks back out with a body bag over his shoulder, and commentary's like, oh, Marina's got to be in that body bag. So Jet Speed takes out Mox and Claudia with topes. Tanahashi hits Yuta with a high fly flow to get the win. So War Dogs and Death Riders start beating up the faces in the ring. So the Young Bucks sneak up from behind. Ospreay super kick them. Then Roderick Strong and Kyle O'Reilly run out to take out the Young Bucks. They brawl backstage. Mm-hmm. Claudio, Yuta, and Mox make their way to the top of the ramp to see who's in the body bag. It's Darby. He jumps out. He gets on Mox's back. He's like raking his eyes and whatnot. The Ops then rush out. Huge brawl breaks out all around the ringside area. It spills into the crowd and ends with Darby hitting Death Riders and War Dogs with the coffin drop off the vomitorium.
Yeah. So that was that. Trying to see.
It's like a half-hour opening segment, all told.
Yeah, it was a really long segment. Yeah, Tanahashi looks rough trying to get to the ring.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, so we also had we talked about the MJF stuff. We got a video package, and then we had a camera backstage. Mark Briscoe said, "I flew myself across the ocean to find MJF. I'm gonna kill him." We had a Ricochet promo backstage. Good to see Ricochet.
Yeah.
Says, we're the hottest group in all of wrestling. MJF steps in, says, the enemy of my enemy is my friends. Says, my enemy is looking for me, so what do you say we find him first? Ricochet says, yeah, Mark Briscoe irks me. You got yourself a deal. Later on, Hangman Page comes to the ring for a promo. He says, last week I was jumped in the parking lot by MJF because that's how MJF likes to handle things. If Max has ever had a problem in his life, he doesn't have the balls to look at it head on. It's a waste of time to call him out because he's an insecure, gutless coward. He said, but Max, you need to know that once you sign that contract, there will be nothing underhanded, and there will be only one opportunity for you with this title. I'm going to swear. I'm going to shove my size 12 boots up your ass. MJF music hits, but no MJF. Hangman's like, what WTF? Tony Schiavone gets on the mic. He says, hey, I've got a message for you, Hangman. MJF wants to speak to you, but you can't leave the ring. And if you do, something bad is going to happen. So it's like, what is this? So MJF shows up on the Tron. Him and Ricochet's crew, they've got Mark Briscoe tied up on a chair. And MJF's like, listen, you're going to give me what I want for Forbidden Door. I got 3 requests. And if you meet them, Mark Briscoe will be safe and sound. If you don't, and he gets out a giant thing of gasoline, petrol in Glasgow, and he puts the petrol on Mark Briscoe. And everybody's like, oh my God, he's going to set him on fire. He says, here's the 3 demands. Number 1, the title can change hands via DQ, via countout, and I don't have to use my contract in order to get my match. What's it going to be? And he says, I'll give you 5 seconds. And he starts to count, and Hangman eventually like, okay. So then Page grabs a chair, runs backstage after agreeing to MJF's demands. Later on, he walks up to Ricochet, blasts him in the back with a chair, tells him, tell me where MJF is. Security rushes in, holds Page back, punches one of the guys, and then leaves.
Mm-hmm. In the main event, we had Mercedes and Athena teaming up to take on Toni Storm and Alex Windsor. It was a fun match. Persephone, who is CMLL's representative in the TBS Championship match, was sitting ringside to watch this. The finish was pretty cool. At one point, Athena tags herself in while Alex Windsor is legal for her team, but doesn't realize that there was a tag, so Windsor hits Monet with a Samoan drop, puts on a sharpshooter. Well, Mercedes is tapping, and Aubrey's like, no, she's not the legal competitor. So Windsor let go of the sharpshooter, and Athena hits her with an O-face right there. Preceding all that, Athena had hit Tony with a pile driver on the ring steps, and they had medical checking on her, and she was acting like she was all woozy. So show ends with Mercedes and Athena standing tall.
Yeah.
So this Feiffel just had a thing here that says that Swerve is dealing with a legit knee injury. I guess he's got a torn meniscus.
Oh, wow.
And so we just got a video package for Swerve and Okada's feud, which has been tepid.
It seems like that's probably maybe by necessity, or
I think so.
They just want to get through it so that he can get this taken care of. Generally speaking, is a torn meniscus something, like if it's just the meniscus, do they usually get surgery on that?
You can have surgery on that.
Or they can rehab it. Or get
you can rehab it as well.
Losing Ospreay and Swerve at the same time might be huge.
Rough.
Yeah.
I guess in the situation of surgery, the idea is, I think, is that then the problem's taken care of. Whereas, like maybe with rehab, it's maybe less certain that the meniscus would heal on its own. Mm-hmm. That would be my guess.
Yeah,
but I'm not an orthopedist, so
yeah. So yeah, we'll see. Hopefully he can get through the match, and it's probably going to be fucking painful, but
yeah. Well, I thought it said in here that this is an injury he's been dealing with for a while.
Oh, really?
So according to this, he had this tear since 2019.
Oh, Jesus. Okay.
But, that's one of the things that I'm sure at a certain point, like, you can maybe tolerate the pain for a certain point, but at a certain point, you're like,
you got to deal with
this is inhibiting what I could be doing.
Yeah.
We had a segment. This was actually pretty fun. I appreciate with Christian. They're not changing his character for this reunion with him and Cope.
I like that. That's going to make this way better. Yeah.
Exactly. Instead of him just waking up one morning being a babyface, he's like,
I'm a good guy now.
I'm still a piece of shit, and I'm fine being a piece of shit.
Yeah.
So Cope comes to the ring, no pyro, and he seems to be put off by that. Before he could say anything, Christian's music hits. He comes to the ring, and Christian tells the crowd to shut up while he conducts his business. And Cope's like, whoa, 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 whoa. People love us. We're one of the greatest tag teams of all time. And yes, you are still an asshole, but what I've learned in this industry is sometimes you need an asshole, and Christian is my asshole.
Mm-hmm.
So Shivani asked Christian, at the end of the Christian's match at All In, Cope came out and said, go find yourself. Have you found yourself? And Christian says, I've taken some time. I did find myself. I found out I don't need to change a thing. I'm perfect the way I am.
Yeah.
And he's like, people might be wondering if we're on the same page. We're not. But this is a reunion of necessity. I'm going to help Cope with FTR. He's going to help me with Kip and Nick. And he says, I'm going to promise this to you right now, Cope. This is the best version of Christian you're going to get as a tag partner. Christian extends his hand. Cope shakes it. Kip and Mama Wayne interrupt. Kip calls Christian pathetic. And then Shayna throws to the Tron where Nick Wayne is sitting in the kind of garage training room that we saw when Swerve busted in there. And he's got crutches with him. And so he says, when Christian ran the ring with Spike a couple weeks ago, he tried to take my head off, but instead, you broke my foot. Now, I'm going to miss Forbidden Door. If I had showed up at Forbidden Door, I would have turned your reunion into a farewell tour. It's a blessing I won't be there on Sunday, or is it? I'm always one step ahead. So there's a video package that rolls onto Tron of Luchasaurus, Killswitch, being revived. And then he makes his entrance, hits the ring. Kip tries to sneak attack Christian from behind. Christian fends him off, but while he does that, Luchasaurus hits Cope with a choke slam, but then he hits Christian with one as well.
Now I noticed this on Twitter. Some Eagle Eye viewers were watching the little video package they did of Luchasaurus being revived. And there was at one point a shot of a hand with, I don't know, because it was all like mad scientist type stuff. And one of the arms, you see like a little piece of black denim jacket, which could indicate that Jack Perry might be reuniting with his old buddy, Luchasaurus. Whether or not that's a thing, I don't know. But, Twitter likes to speculate. It was either Twitter or Reddit. I don't know what it was.
Yeah.
In any event, I think it was Reddit. They like to speculate and pick things apart. And we haven't seen Jack Perry in a while, evidently, because they haven't had anything for him. So maybe this is going to be that thing. We're going to get a bizarro dark version of the Jurassic Express.
Maybe. When this package first started rolling, I thought to myself, they signed PCO. Finally here, we didn't talk about this. In my mind, like our predictions video, which we shot right before this, and this podcast are merged into one.
Merging together,
thing. So we didn't talk about this yet. So we had a match between FTR and Bro Dito, which was awesome.
Yeah, it was awesome. It was
and
great.
The winner was to get a tag title shot at Forbidden Door against Hurt Syndicate. So early on, Stokely has a steel pipe loaded into a sling, and he blasts Brody with it. Brody's bleeding all over the place. He's bleeding a ton. And this match ends up in a time limit draw, but go out of your way to see it because it's phenomenal.
Yeah, it is.
After the match, Bandito hits Dax with a 21-plex. Anyways, it's announced that both teams are going to face Hurt Syndicate at Forbidden Door. And then Hurt Syndicate's theme hits. Lashley and Shelton make the way of the ramp. They don't come and attack anybody. They just stand there.
Yeah. So we'll see how that plays out. We talked about this on predictions, obviously, but it's a three-way dance, so it's elimination. I mean, the chance that Brodito and FTR could team up and take out Hurt Syndicate. That should be the only way it would ever make sense for Hurt Syndicate to lose if they have to fight four guys.
Yeah.
Because I forget if a three-way dance...
Well, that's what it was. It was a three-way match at All In. It was Patriarchy, Jet Speed, and Hurt Syndicate.
Yeah, but Patriarchy and Jet Speed, those four guys, should have no chance at teaming up against the Hurt Syndicate altogether.
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember, like, a three-way dance in terms of a tag match. Is it just, like, one dude and one dude in there, and then, like...
Oh, I don't know.
They tag out? It's not a tornado, is it?
I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I mean, ECW loved their three-way dances. They would always do elimination.
Oh, yes.
Sometimes WWE would do.
Do you want to answer some questions?
Would you like to look at the television, Mr. Lee?
I'm going to start with this one. This is a great question. Nate Cruz asks, if you could fuse two foods you love and know it'll be good, what would you choose? I got an easy answer. This is a cheat answer because I've actually done it before.
Good.
Banana bread French toast.
Oh, yeah.
It's really good.
That sounds good. Yeah, boy, I don't know if I can beat that. Like, so my mom, her recipe for burritos, and you sort of do this in the air fryer, is, you fry it. Now, I'm not huge on this. If I'm going to do this, I got to fucking put the oil down and do it proper in the thing, because it's just greasy and it's just so it melts in your mouth.
Yeah.
So fusing that with my mom's lasagna, some sort of like fried burrito lasagna. Now I'm thinking about that. I'm like, whoa.
Well, could you use like the lasagna noodles as the casing, and then inside also have lasagna,
Well, I'm wondering
fry.
I'm wondering if there's like a casserole I could do where you'd have like fried tortilla, and it would kind of be like in the same layered version as like a lasagna. So you'd have like some crunch in it.
Yeah, maybe.
That actually sounds like it might be bomb. I'll be honest.
You got to try that out. Write that down.
Not gonna lie, writing it down now.
Miko here says power rank the backstage morale on Raw, SmackDown, NXT, TNA, and AEW. Apparently, morale on AEW is great right now.
Yeah, unless you're Speedball Mike Bailey, in which case you're just getting hit on all sides by MVP. I don't know. Keeps on coming up saying "fuck you, Speedball." What is that all about? Morale in
I think morale in TNA's got to be pretty good. Like, business has been good. Been getting good crowds. This partnership with WWE seems to be helping them.
Yeah, I'd be kind of surprised if anybody in the TNA locker room were like, fuck WWE, I don't need this. I'd be kind of surprised at that. But maybe Sami Callihan feels that way. I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe not. Maybe he loves it. Maybe he's like, oh, great. I get Solomon Crow's going to have a producer's job. Where else?
Raw, SmackDown, NXT. I mean, like in NXT, you'd think morale wouldn't be too bad because, like, they spend so much time training.
NXT, I would think that maybe
they all live in the same apartment complex. You know, they probably hang out all the time.
Yeah, it's probably fine. I don't know. Like, if there's any place that has like a negative locker room, I'd say it's maybe like New Japan because they seem to like, I don't know if they can catch a break. They keep on getting talent poached.
Yeah.
They haven't had the buzz in a really long time. But I don't know. I feel like, maybe AAA. Maybe AAA morale because it's like, well, like less people are going to be featured. They just got rid of Alberto. Maybe if they don't like me, they're going to get rid of me. I don't know. Maybe. But then if you're one of the few people in AAA that WWE really likes, then you got to be feeling top of the world.
Yeah.
Mr. Iguana's on Raw. He's probably feeling pretty good about himself.
Yeah. Vikingo's probably feeling pretty good about his position right now, too. Mm-hmm. Despite the crowd reaction. Alex Foster says, based only on assumptions, what wrestlers do you think could go on to be good or bad bookers? Good, Kevin Owens.
Yeah.
Sami Zayn. I feel like Sami could be good.
Yeah.
Those are the two names that really pop out.
What was like? What's the pool of people?
Anybody.
Wrestlers? Just wrestlers?
Yeah, wrestlers.
Who'd be a bad booker? I'll be honest with you. Not going to lie. I've heard this guy talk about some ideas that he had pitched.
I know
some
who
of
you're
this
gonna
shit's
say.
sketchy as fuck, Bobby Lashley.
Yeah, you're going to say Lashley, yeah.
The Gunther idea would not fly. But I love that he's got that sort of like old man, old school sensibility where he's like, yeah, bro, maybe in the 90s this would have fly, but like not today.
I did like Lashley's idea of him putting on a bunch of weight, though.
Love that idea too. Yeah,
That's a great idea.
Yeah, Bobby Lashley's got a very old school, like borderline carny idea for being a booker. Maybe it'd be wildly successful. Loosen up a little bit. Maybe that's what we need. Loosen up a little bit. This is fun. It's just wrestling. As we saw with Omos and Microman. Yeah. Why don't we have more of that shit out here? People eat that shit up. Give me some more, what do they call them? The Exoticos or whatever in AAA. Mm-hmm. You see the video? I see you're not on socials. I should have sent this to you. Like video. What was the name? Is it Escalarta Pimpinella?
Yeah.
Was coming out for their AAA thing, and Nick Khan and Triple H were in the front row. And like they both stand out and just stand up, and Triple H looks, and his expression does not change. He's not like, oh, fun. he just looked like he did in those TMZ vacation pictures. Grumpy ass face. People were like, the captions were hilarious. Like, Triple H is not into this. Lighten up. Let's get some more fun shit, man.
Yeah.
C Machine says, if you were a Spice Girl, which one are you?
Oh, wow.
I think I'm Jerry. I think I'm the one with the red hair. I don't know. Ginger Spice. Yeah. Jerry Halliwell, I think her name is.
Yeah.
I think I'm her. I don't know why. I just think I'm her.
I guess Sporty?
You'd probably be Sporty Spice. Yeah, you go to the gym.
Greg Morris, who would benefit more from beating Cena in his last match, Gunther or Drew McIntyre?
Drew needs it, baby. He needs it.
Yeah, he does. But I feel like it's going to be Gunther because Gunther's thing is going to be retiring wrestlers.
Maybe. Yeah, I'd be down for that. I'd be down with that.
Yeah, either would be good.
Heel Heat says if a toy company was to make Steven Larson figures, what attire and accessories would you each include?
We need to have a basketball edition with basketball stuff.
Yeah, the Friendo Club jerseys.
We would need to have a Holiday Harry and Barry Bratwurst edition.
For sure. Yeah. You know what? How about this? A 10 for the win variant where we look younger.
There we go. Red
we
hair.
are. Yeah, right. And then, but yeah, I mean, mine would be, I know lately I've been wearing, you want to see the latest Grandpa shirt? I'll give you a preview of it.
Sure.
Because it's the latest one from his collection.
I like the shirt you have on right now a lot.
Yeah, it's the Brody King one. Goes like the money went to like great charity and everything.
Yeah.
So like over at Wrestle Juice every day I've been wearing a new shirt from my grandpa's collection. I told you the situation. I went to my dad's house to raid his closet. My mom keeps on saying, I'm gonna get rid of his stuff. I'm gonna get rid of his. I'm like, well, don't get rid of his stuff. Just keep it. And so I go through his clothes, but then I found like a tub that's exclusively my grandpa's t-shirts. And I was like, holy shit, this stuff was, he bought like between like probably 1985 and 1990 or something like that, and it all smells like Florida. It smells like Del Boca Vista. He's got a bunch of shirts from Alaska, but then he's got this one. I'm wearing my Wrestle Juice video later on today. It's a Hershey's cow.
It's a cow.
It's like Hershey themed apparently.
Is that the cow's tongue?
Yeah, it's the cow's tongue, and he's carrying like a sack. He's like a tourist cow. I'm assuming this is from Hershey, Pennsylvania.
That would make sense.
And he's got a camera, and he's got a sack of Hershey's Kisses back there.
Wow.
And then, yeah, I guess he's reaching back, but that doesn't make a lot of sense. So Hershey's Chocolate World, which, again, I'm assuming is in...
Hershey, Pennsylvania, yeah.
Hershey, Pennsylvania. So, yeah. We'll do that.
Smurf Galloway here asked, if you had to amalgam comic style fusion of WWE and AEW, which wrestlers would you combine? What a good question.
Oh, you got to go Hangman Punk. CM Page.
Yeah.
You got to do that.
Seth Omega.
Seth Omega. Yeah, or Kenny Rollins.
Yeah.
Kenny Rollins is a great name. Highway into the danger zone, Kenny Rollins. Oh, yeah, that's a good one. I feel like Athena and Rhea Ripley could have a really cool amalgam.
Oh,
character.
yeah.
That'd be, Athena Ripley. Yeah, something like that.
Roman Mox.
Oh, there you go. It's just Shield.
Yeah.
It's just
his name. The name
Shield
would be
Man.
Shield of combined Roman Mox Shield.
Yeah, exactly. Mikhail says, what would a Going in Raw basketball podcast be like? What do we call a basketball podcast? Number one, a basketball podcast. I would, if we got serious about it, I would make it a 3-man deal. You, me, and Hilton.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it would be. Because I feel like you guys, and obviously if we did it as a podcast, I would tune in. I would school myself a lot more on modern NBA, but I feel like you and Hilton, especially Hilton, would probably be the guys to bring like actual info, and I'd be the funny guy.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know what a good name would be for it.
If it was 2 people, double dribble.
Oh yeah.
But
yeah. Because like they already had like I think the name of the I think it was called The Flagrant. It was the Andrew Scholes one, and then it sort of morphed into something else.
How about Airballs?
Airball. Airballs. There's a lot of innuendo you could throw out there. Yeah. But I like the idea of a flagrant because it's like, but it's already taken.
Is there what's Flagrant 3? It's just Flagrant 1 and 2, right?
Yeah, it's just 1 and 2. What's like the wild? Like what's like the one of the more wild plays or calls? Delay of game.
Delay of game.
That's what it would be. The Delay of Game podcast.
Yeah.
I wonder if somebody's already taken that.
Yeah, that's a good question.
The Delay of Game podcast.
Oh, no, I'm fond of Airballs.
Airballs. Yeah, I like that too. That's good. Yeah, you, me, and Hilton. I would do it weekly, and we do it in studio because that's like the standard these days. Like you did the one you do, you put, I don't know, I guess you get 4 cameras, 3 close-ups and 1, wide.
A long shot of everybody.
Long shot, yeah. AJ Otani says, could an AJ Styles Kabuki Warriors Bullet Club be interesting? So AJ, Asuka, Kyrie.
Sure.
If they did it cool, like if
Yeah.
they seemed dangerous, that could work, I guess.
But like Seth Rollins' faction doesn't even seem dangerous, and they're supposed to be top heel faction.
I know.
Let's see.
Jesse Helsius wants to know if we can expect any more retro Guess the Meltzer videos.
We just didn't want to do too much Meltzer stuff.
Yeah, we have the Meltzer. There was a run where it was like, God damn, we've got too much Meltzer going on our
So
channel.
we're kind of taking a pause from the retro Meltzers. They might come back at some point.
Yeah, I think it's possible.
They're fun to do.
Yeah.
B-Man here says, would you rather consume wrestling as you do now with only sight and no hearing, or only hearing and no sight?
Oh, only sight, no hearing. Because that's kind of how I do when we do watch-alongs anyways.
Yeah.
I turn that way down. Like, a lot of people were commenting on Conan's commentary, and I honestly didn't really notice it, or JBL's, because like I wasn't really paying attention to commentary. Art Guy says, if there was a Steven Larson statue, where in Sacramento would it be? Oh, the basketball court that we play at.
Yeah.
That's where it'd be. That's where it'd be. A lot of memories there of kicking balls and screaming.
That would be the statue. One of us kicking the ball and the other one doing this.
Shit.
Kind of ducking down so they don't take a ball to the face.
And then the person who kicks it is like, don't you go chasing that ball. I'm going to get that ball back.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, golly. That shit is hilarious. Benjamin Blankenship, what is the go-to TV show wrestling snack you friendos love to eat?
Oh, it used to be chips, but I'm trying not to eat so many chips these days, so it's a bowl of cereal. It's cereal.
I don't have like a go-to thing for shows. I have some go-to shows for when I eat my lunch, and that's like the Pluto TV Star Trek lineup.
Mm-hmm.
Why did my fucking TV turn off? It turns off like automatically. Fucking
Your TV
videos in the
is
middle
weird,
of playing
man.
and it turns off. What the fuck? I hate that.
Weird.
Let's see here.
Let's get one more in.
Dave Matushek says, I got two here that are okay. With
right.
Peacock's out, because David always loves the broadcast questions. He's
Yeah.
fascinated by TV broadcasts.
Yeah.
With Peacock's output of remaining premium live events being only from NXT, what will become of said events when the contract expires, and where will they air going forward? So I think for the short term until early 2026, they're going to remain on Peacock. And then after that, it's just sort of if they cut a new deal with Peacock, they'll stay there or not. I don't know.
Or if they can get NXT kind of involved in the ESPN thing, which I don't know. What they should do is air them on YouTube.
Yeah, apparently they've got like a special arrangement with YouTube because their stuff does so well there. So, maybe if YouTube wants to pony up a little bit of extra cash and say, hey, can we have your library here? Literally everything WWE has is already uploaded to YouTube because of their Content ID system. Mm-hmm. So it's just a matter of like flipping the switch to public and arranging them, or putting them in
playlists
places
and stuff like that. Yeah.
Yeah. I would. It wouldn't. I wonder if WWE has, just from the back end point of view, if they've uploaded everything to their WWE channel, or if they have a separate private channel just for Content ID.
That's possible. Yeah.
That would not surprise me. So
Yeah,
they would have to re-upload it.
Yeah.
Joe the Meme Maker says, does being a belt collector in your mind diminish championships, as sometimes the titles are for the sake of gimmick and possibly get lost in the shuffle? No, I think a championship is held in prestige or not based exclusively on the stories that are being told for those championships. For example, this might be directed to Mercedes Moné. I don't know how those titles individually are represented in the promotions themselves. And so individually, I'd have to know that information before deciding whether or not I felt the title was prestigious or not.
I will say this. I would guess for some of the smaller promotions, for example, that Mercedes holds titles for, they are probably ecstatic that, she's got the TBS championship and right next to that is their title. Like, I think in that sense, it elevates the prominence of the title, because there might be some people's like, what title is that? You know, hop on their computer or on their phone, look it up and see what it is, and maybe start getting introduced to that product.
If they see, if those promotions see tangible results and by way of attendance and stuff, then yeah, I think 1,000%. If they're like, oh man, we really need to get that title offer somehow, then, you know, because it's not doing anything for us then at that point. But I feel like anybody who's able to afford Mercedes, probably they're doing pretty well as a promotion. So yeah, it's probably just added value to have that title.
I would think so.
Yeah. Is that it? We're good?
Yep.
All right, that's going to do it for the show today. Everybody, thanks for tuning in. We appreciate it. We'll be back tomorrow evening with our SmackDown review. Till next time, we'll see you guys around.
Goodbye.